So we're counting down to the election in Anambra State governorship election, and as Jeffrey said, the people have two choices really, to maintain status quo or to seek to change that status quo. And that's why we have other candidates who are vying for that #1 seat in Anambra State, Southeast Nigeria. We have one of them joining us on the program, as you've seen, the AAC governorship candidate in Anambra State, Chioma, Ifemeludike, and she joins us live from Awka, the Anambra State capital, virtually this morning. You're welcome to the morning brief. Just be sure you can hear me. Good morning. It's great to see you in that, well, iconic orange beret. So good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. So let's get right into it. For a lot of people, they know you as a producer, an actress, and now they're seeing you. They're probably thinking, is this for real? But you say you are ready. So walk us through what changed for you. What was that moment that you thought, you know what, let me escalate the work I do into governance and really battle for the #1 seat in Anambra State?
Thank you. Okay. I'd like to take it back to school days, my uni days. I was a unionist. Yes. So having had that first-hand experience of what it means to be a student activist, I was in tune to knowing, the nitty-gritty of governance and how to engage government. And also because I studied political science, and when you study such courses, it's all about governance. So, but for me at that time, it wasn't leadership. It was engaging government as a student, speaking up for things that weren't going right, and standing up for people that couldn't speak for themselves. Yeah, and through that time, I continued with my career because acting has always been my first love, and I've done it gracefully. I mean, I've got the talent. And then also I ventured into producing. But in the course of all of this, I've been also very vocal. I've joined civil rights organizations, I've volunteered, I've been on the street protesting, the NSAS protest is very active, and everyone that knows me knows that I'm very connected to the plight of the people. But recently I became partisan. I joined the African Action Congress way back in 2019, but I was just an ardent supporter of Omoyele Sowore, the then presidential candidate of our party. So I was a follower. I loved his work. I resonated with his ideology and message. I followed keenly. And then last year, it dawned on me that I had to step, into the position to lead in the party. And I became the chairperson of our party in the state. And in between that, till when we held our primaries, it has been an issue of who will represent our party at the Juba elections. And what it is that we're not in a hurry to just put any money bag or anybody, who probably meets society status. What it was for us is someone who understands what the party stands for in terms of integrity, in terms of ideology. And as you can see, I became that person.
There you go.
We did the primaries. I was voted for by delegates, and here we are.
Here we are. So I just wanted to put that background out there so people understand the build-up to this moment. You're the only female in the running now for governor in Anambra State. But I want you to speak to the issues now, because there's a lot of work to do when it comes to governance in Nigeria, and particularly in Anambra State as it is in other states. So just speak to this issue. What are the things that for you, the current governor, Chioma Soludo, has not done right and you want to fix?
Okay. So for me, it started with the pace. They were so slow. You know, you think with the rigorous campaign they ran and the manifesto that they'll just hit the ground running. But they hit the ground and it was as if they were learning on the job. It was as if they were not prepared. It was as if they were building up agenda when they should be executing the plan. And you know, governance is such a place that you need to get on ground and start working immediately because people's lives depend on it. But we didn't see that. The next one was in security. They failed woefully. The current government, led by His Excellency, Professor Charles Soludo, failed woefully in the area of security. First, there were too many kidnappings, and then there were too many deaths. There was so much shed of innocent blood, which shouldn't have happened. We had the case of Honorable Justice Azuka, who was kidnapped last year and was murdered. We had the case of Madame Ife, the banker, who was killed in cold blood. So many uncountable cases. Clergymen, rich men, ordinary people kidnapped. How many of these cases did we see culprits? Did we see someone being held responsible to face the law? Who are we going to hold accountable for these lives lost? It's not enough to go around showing yourself, trying to say, I have a scorecard. The people of Anambra, they should be the one to score you. You don't go about scoring yourself. So based on this particular insecurity issue, he failed. He failed the very people that voted him. Because the priority of governance is securing lives and properties. That is the second. There's so many of it, but I'm just going to pick it one after the other. Also, there's a case of industrialization, power. The government once said that they are going into an agreement with EEDC for us to have constant power. We haven't seen constant power in Anambra State, and this has affected industries. This has affected manufacturers. And let's even go to the promise where he said he's going to make Anambra State a Dubai, Taiwan project. This is after 3 years. Governor, where is our Dubai, Taiwan? I mean, look at the capital. Does it look like something close to a mega city? You see hungry, stranded, frustrated people littered all over the place, beggars? Is that what a mega city should look like? You told us you want to turn Anambra State into a Dubai, Taiwan project. Where is that project?
All right, Chioma, let's... Yes, I know there's a lot to say, but let's take it in bit. Now, let's talk core politics now.
Okay.
I know you mentioned it in passing, but first, when politicians are processing how to win election, before they talk money, they're looking for a sellable candidate. More sellable here means somebody popular enough that by first name mention, a lot of people will resonate. Have you been able to cross that hurdle? How many people know you in Anambra State in that sense, on that part? And there's an aspect of having a war chest. There's so many billionaires in Anambra. ABGA is almost an ancestral political party. It's held the sway and the reins of power for as long, in fact, it's the last surviving state when it comes to ABGA as a political party. As we speak, a couple of, the governor has gotten the ticket of the party and is ready for re-election. And there's a lot of war chest. When you talk about APC or ABGA itself as a ruling party or even PDP, these people come with a lot of war chest. So two things I would like you to speak to. The issue of how popular you are to be able to be remembered that, okay, this person, we want to vote for this person because we know this person, and the issue of war chest, because those are critical when it comes to winning any election. This is pure politics, not governance now.
Okay, so first I'd like to say that we're not intimidated by the Mughals. If you're rich, I respect you. I respect that you're able to make money. But this is beyond money. I may not be that known, like the governor is known, but there is something that I have the governor does not have, which is conscience, which is a better leadership skill, which is being able to speak to the conscience of the Anambra State. I have that, and that is capacity. I have the ability to reach into the hearts, the fiber of our society, and fix our people and put them right where they're supposed to be and give them good leadership. That is what they have to know.
My apologies, Chioma. If you can hear me, so I'm saying you have all these great ideas and quality leadership, but if you have all these, they don't know you, it's like winking in the dark. So I'm actually technically asking you, how do you want to make yourself known?
I was going to get there.
All
We're going to run a campaign. Why are we running a campaign? We're running a campaign so they'll know me. It's always the first time. And they will know me because it's going to be an experience of a lifetime. And when they know me, they will never want to let me go. So yes, I'm confident that we're going to run a robust campaign and we're going to stamp my name and African Action Congress in the hearts of the Anambra State, and they will never want to let us go. They'll practically walk with us into the government house to lead.
Interesting, Chioma. I like your courage and your character. You bring presence to the campaign. And that is interesting. You know, we need more female representation. But I have two questions for you. Your party, AAC, is relatively unknown in Anambra State. Yes, the Orange Beret is becoming more popular because of the strides of your party leader, Omoyele Sowore. So are you riding on his popularity to getting some popularity, knowing that you cannot win the election in the first place? That's on the one hand. And on the second hand, should you win by chance, what would you do? Do you have an action plan to solve the challenge of insecurity and this phenomenon of unknown gunmen in Anambra State?
Okay, first I'd like to acknowledge the chairman of our party, the convener of the Take It Back movement, the voice of the voiceless, the president of the oppressed Nigerians, the president of Omoyele Sowore. And yes, would his support be needed? Most definitely. But am I 100% hoping or banking that he will come and do the job in Anambra State? No. We have a job to do, like I said earlier. We have a campaign. As long as I get a fair playing ground, like we don't get to see all those dirty politics, like trying to oppress, as long as we get a fair playing ground, I will nail it and I will win. And let's even talk about the plans I have. I have great plans from the Anambra State. First, you know, because this current government went about clamping down on traditional priests. We frown at that. That is an infringement. You don't go about telling people what to worship or how to worship. You don't do that. That is not leadership. So what you do is you could get out the bad eggs by, you know, making sure that you checkmate these organizations, but you don't go about attacking a particular group so much that they become, you don't lead by control. You don't lead by putting fear in the hearts of the people you're leading. So what that shows is another side of, you know, lack of leadership or lack of plans to actually get in. What we're going to do differently is economically boosting our society. When the economy is boosted by employing the youths of Anambra State, you'll find out that some of the people who do this traditional worshiping or any sort of religious worshiping or priesthood or all of that are doing that because they're actually hungry. that area has become a source of livelihood. But when you employ them, engage them duly, they will fizzle out. So economy solves some of these underground issues. And also in the areas of taxation. This current government is heavily taxing the Anambra. They tax women in the market who are pushing wheelbarrows. They tax children who are hawking. Who does that? Taxing does not boost the economy. What boosts the economy is industrialization. And in the African Action Congress, led by my leadership, we're going to create more factories. We're going to have at least 2 companies in the state every year to foster employment.
Right. Just on a final note, it's quite interesting listening to you. There are those who see you and remember the controversy that you had with the pastor, some of the exposés you made, the back and forth. You know, some will recall, again, some of the things you said about awards and all of that. Because for an entertainer like you, normally there's a lot in the mix. So what do you have to say to those people who might want to see you from that angle and not see you as someone who might be fitting for that #1 seat in the state on a final note? What do you want to say to them? Let's take this moment to address that.
Yeah, but you didn't say it clearly. I wanted to stay out because this is actually something that's very important to me.
Is it a connection? Again. Is it a connection, or what you do?
You mentioned the pastor, or
yeah,
I'm sure
the controversies which you're aware of. I'm just saying, for those who still see you as that, what do you have to say to them?
This is my truth. And if for anything, this is also very important as a candidate, as the one person of Anambra State. I want young girls to be able to speak their truth. It does not matter what anybody thinks. What matters is who you are and who you get better to be. The way you put yourself out to be a better person, the steps you take, the discipline you put ahead of you. So this is a truth I'm holding on till forever. So it is not, these are 2 different things. The only time people want to bring it up is when we have actually really put pressure on them. Then they're going to bring it in form of a propaganda. And I expect it.
And you're ready for that?
And I'm not running away from it. I'm very ready.
There you go. The AAC governorship candidate for Anambra State, Chioma Ifemeludike, saying she's ready for it. So bring it on. We wish you the very best. This is obviously something that we're following all the way. So thank you so much for your time. See you on the field, as they say.
Thank you. Bye.
So that's a look at the upcoming election in Anambra State. But we'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll turn our attention to River State. It's been exactly 1 month. It was Tuesday last month. A state of emergency was declared and sole administrator announced for River State. How far so far? Stay with us.